exciting is this? Currently I am a one-man band in my office, alone, all by myself, with the Ronin S, not the SC, and I've installed Active Track. Now it looks like I've got someone following me around with a camera, albeit very robotically. This is the first time I'm testing it right now on you, so you'll have to tell me if it looks good or bad. I really don't know. At the end of last year, there was an awesome deal on the Ronin S, which is a phenomenal gimbal by DJI, a phenomenal company which makes my favorite kind of drones. And later on this year, they came out with the Ronin SC, which was driving me crazy because this thing gets heavy. Once you have all this gear on top of this thing, it's just all over the place. It's not as bad as a full-on Steadicam and different rigs that you have to put onto that, but balancing is definitely a trick. It's something that you have to get used to. The Ronin SC solves that. The other thing that the Ronin SC had that was making me excessively jealous was the fact that it had Active Track Pro, which was a way for the camera to motion track and follow someone as they moved around, even as simple as just in their office like this. And it's so funny because as soon as the Ronin SC came out, all these people were doing reviews, you know, the early adopters were buying it. The people that were sponsored were able to get free versions of it to try out. Everyone was very excited, but one of the things that no one seemed to really think about was how interesting it would look if in a vlogging scenario, you were able to make it look like you had a crew, someone that was actually moving the camera and following you around. Let's say I had to show various things about how I put a camera together on a rig, or if I wanted to just move around back and forth and show my office like this. Everyone was looking at the Active Track Pro as something that would replace you manually following someone. Which makes sense, that's probably what it was created for. But the fact that all these gadgets that we get prove that you can make it look like you have a much larger crew than... Okay Google, send a message to my wife. Yes, I would like some Wendy's, thank you! Exclamation point.
Hi God, yes, I would like some Wendy's. Thank you. Do you want to send it or change it?
Send it away.
It's on its way.
Thank you. Okay, so it's not perfect. You know, you have to give up your phone, in which case someone might text you. And yes, while I was able to use Google to respond to my wife, unfortunately, it would not return back to the Active Track screen, so I couldn't just continue without touching things. There's always something to fiddle with. I just found that this would be far more dynamic than putting it up on a slider, putting my camera just sat down right in front of me, or me holding my camera, even though that the handheld look for cameras and vlogging has proven to be a lot more engaging. So have these wide lenses. I'm not moving too much, but that little bit of motion tracking that it's doing with my face is pretty engaging. That's pretty cool. With something like this, I could show you around my office. With something like this, I could show you different things that I'm using. You know, check this out. What you're looking through is the B camera. This is my A camera. As much as I like to use the XLR adapter on this thing, to use a large Sennheiser microphone for vlogging, it's just not convenient. Of course, it's also not convenient to be using a lavalier microphone as I am right now. Truthfully, you can't have it all in any given camera setup. So let me tell you why I'm so thrilled to have this on the Ronin S. The Ronin S can hold smaller cameras, yes, and it had other features with its new firmware, with Active Track 3.0, and with all these other different features. Ronin S seemed really promising, and the price tag was significantly smaller. My thought was I could have sold the Ronin S, got a Ronin SC, and not really have lost any money. I just love the idea of this Active Track. You don't have to worry about where your camera's pointing. It does a little bit of movement, it has its own camera shake. It's phenomenal. I had every intentions of selling the Ronin S and getting the Ronin SC just because I wanted that Active Track. As I was listing all these different pieces of equipment to sell, something told me that no, I should not sell this. And you know what? I listened to it, and just a week or two later, I found out they were giving away the Active Track Pro firmware update for the Ronin S, and it wasn't only going to be available for the Ronin SC. So there you have it. Here's to more listening to that gut feeling and that still small voice. I think it was a smart idea for DJI to make the move of releasing the firmware with a new product, with a couple of new products, before they release the firmware generally to those who already had a Ronin S. It almost had me buy something new.